Good morning. I thought I would start our day off with a little hip sequence today. Just a little 5-minute stretch to loosen out a bit of the kinks, to get you going for your day so you're able to feel a little bit more comfortable whether you're sitting a lot in the day or you are actually doing a lot of movement. So we're just going to get our joints a little bit lubricated, get ourselves a little bit more ready for the day ahead. So I'm going to use this space that I've got here with this beautiful puppy. I'm going to try to work around Charlie. Hey, buddy. Always dreamed of doing yoga with dogs, so it's coming true. So we're going to start reclined on our backs. I'm just going to go into a space that he'll allow me. Excuse me, Charlie. I'll give you a little bit of a side view. So lying on your back, with your knees bent, just take a few breaths here. So in a position where your feet are about hip width apart, so it doesn't feel like your knees are splaying open or falling together. You feel quite steady. Your arms relax next to your body. You can inch your shoulder blades a little closer together under your back. And just take a few breaths here to actually let your back ground down. To let your body land. I'm not even using a yoga mat today, but it's just to remind you that you can literally do this in any space provided that your body fits. Doesn't really matter the surface. So let's just let ourselves find our breath. Here's our second puppy, Maya. And then we'll begin by placing, We'll begin by placing our left ankle onto our right knee. With the foot flexed, start by creating a bit of space into your left hip. So place your hand to your left thigh and press the knee away from you. So you're literally just opening up the hip here. Try to keep everything else even, so your back neutral to the mat, your hips level, without tipping over. Take a couple breaths here. Now we're going to find a bit of strength here in our core. It's also going to involve our hips a little. So as much as we want to gain flexibility, strength is just as important. So take your arms next to your sides. Keep the legs in this shape, but lift your foot up. Even as soon as you lift it, you're going to notice your abdominals start to work. So just go at the height that works for you. Maybe you bring it to a point where your shin is parallel to the ground. Again, keeping your foot flexed here to protect the joint. And then we take a couple of breaths here. So you can stay here longer if you have the time. Like I said, we're just going to go through a quick little sequence today just to get us ready for the day ahead. Now there's a couple options here. You can go back to step 1, reconnecting your foot to the earth if you enjoyed finding this space in your hip. Or we can go to step 3, which would be grabbing the back side of the right leg, interlacing your hands together at the back of the thigh if you prefer the shin. Sometimes we need a little help with a strap, which can be a belt, a scarf, a sock, anything at all. And then gently pulling towards you. And a little nudge of your left elbow into your thigh can also sometimes find a little bit of a juicier spot. So let's take a couple breaths here. Doggy breath next to me. Take one more deep breath. Next, we're going to find ourselves in shoelace pose, or we call it cow face, but reclined. So stacking now left knee over top of right. Now this may not work for everybody. You can also just come with your ankles crossed, your shins crossed, and pull the knees towards you. So, but if you can, we'll bring our left knee over top. And then it's either pulling the knees towards your body, or your hands can glide down your shins. So you're holding actually your opposite ankles, or even your feet if you can reach. Ankles are actually a good place to land though. And then see again if the shoulders can come a little bit relaxed down. Maybe a gentle rocking motion side to side. So if you have the left knee on top, sometimes a little pull to the right. You can find a bit of a juicier spot in that left hip or glute. Another deep breath here. Bring it back to center. Unravel both feet back to the ground. Find that neutral place. Hands can rest to the belly or beside you. And just observe any change, anything that the body feels, maybe a little bit more on one side than the other. Then obviously we have to even ourselves out. So we'll be bringing the right ankle onto the left knee with the foot flexed. We begin with that space. So press your hand into your thigh and just literally feel that opening here. Take another full breath. And then we find a bit of strength. So arms come back beside you. That's just going to help ground you, support you. And we start, and notice right away what happens. So we start to pick our left foot up off of the ground and just notice that activation. Make sure you can keep your tailbone down, your spine down, and only lifting as high as you need. It's going to depend on your hip flexibility here, not just your strength. So then maybe coming to a point again where your shin is level. And breathe here. So you could be looking like this, or it could be down here. Maybe we're taking little breaks with something I call the pause button. So anytime your toe needs to tap down, it's just taking a little pause. And maybe we can lift it up again. So just a couple more breaths. And then again, either back to that pause button, back to step one, or grab the back side of the left leg and pull as much and only as much as your body not only allows but needs. Oh boy, it's gonna get rowdy. Take one more full breath here. And then we'll find Maya. Be nice. We're gonna stack our knees, or again, you can stack your shins, and we'll be pulling the knees towards the belly. And then maybe the hands glide down. You just want to grip in a comfortable place. And I didn't maybe guide this before, but the idea is to also pull your feet away from each other. And then again, that little rocking motion. And so with the right knee being on top, sometimes a little pull to the left creates a bit more opening. Just a couple more breaths here. Back to center, unstack. Let's give our knees a little squeeze to the belly this time, a little rock side to side. You can open your knees, bring them together, and then find any bit of movement to really prepare yourself for your day ahead. And we will finish by bringing our feet back to the ground, not your typical Shavasana, but just hands resting to the belly. And take a few breaths simply with awareness of your breath, of the fact that you took a few moments to stretch, to breathe, to tune in with yourself. You can stay here as long as you'd like. I thank you all for joining me this morning. Namaste.